so we're here to start another session. You have Sam at the door with you. What do you do?
I will rush to the door and grab him and bring him inside.
Okay. You rush over, and here's Tristan as well, is sitting there trying to tend to him. He says, "There's some hot water over on the dry sink right over there. If you would go grab that." And he looks around. First, he looks at the cat, and he goes, "That's a bad option." Perrin,
Tristan, can you heal?
Yes.
Magic,
One moment. Yes, I can. But
Oh, okay.
Perrin, can you go?
I get up and go. Start grabbing the water and stuff.
Perrin, can you go turn the stove on? Quick. He pulls out a box of matches and throws it to you. He says, "Can you go and start a fire over on the stove?"
Yeah, I catch the box of matches and start the stove.
Quick question.
Yes.
Do we know what matches are?
Well,
Straight up,
Perrin
matches were invented
does,
after
so
the
that's why he
cigarette
asked
lighter.
him.
That's fair. Matches were invented after the cigarette lighter, which is really weird. But anyways.
That's a good.
Whoa,
well,
really?
phosphorate.
Yeah.
Phosphorate. He gives you something to tinder of some kind to start a stove.
Pulls out matches. What is this witchcraft?
Whoosh.
Brings out a Zippo.
Or you can try lighting a fire with magic. It's up to you. But we need to get something warm into his body, and he lays his hands on him, and as radiant energy leaves his body, Sam kind of starts to regain life a little bit. His blue color is removed from his lips, and he stops shaking quite as violently, and he just lays there for a moment, breathing peacefully, and now sits here trying to just remain alive for a few moments. Tristan wraps him up in a blanket and brings him over to where you guys were sitting by the fire and sets him up there. And he looks at all of you, and he looks at Sam, and he says, "Well, hello, young sir. It seems you have already met. These are comrades of yours, I assume?" And he looks around at all of you, and he's not saying anything. He looks back at all of you and says, "Do you know this boy?"
Yeah. He kind of walked into a death portal, but we knew him before that, and we know him now, so yes.
Death portal. Oh, is this the death portal you were referring to earlier?
Same one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We haven't seen a lot of those.
That's fair. I have seen exactly 0 of them, so I'm impressed. So you say this boy's name is Sam,
It is.
and he's from a different plane.
That is... yes. He is from a plane called... what did they call that place? Mordant? Mordant.
Mordant. Interesting. Well, this is definitely an interesting turn of events. Most certainly seems as though his being here might be tied to all of you. Sam.
Well, considering he was dragged through the portal by Rudy, or whatever you said that his real name is.
Yes, Albrecht. Sam, young boy, please, pray tell, when did you find yourself here? And Sam looks up and looks back down at the ground and looks at the fire and just kind of has that 1,000-yard stare in his eyes.
I'm
Hey,
not
Sam?
sure that he is strong enough to answer questions right now. Perhaps we should let him rest, at least for a little while.
He looks like me during tax season.
He looks actually very similar to you at the moment.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yes. Regardless, perhaps it is best we all get some rest, since we have not had a very good moment to do that since you made your way into Lemuria. So, if you would like, I have plenty of spare bedrooms. Perhaps you'd like to lay next to the fire tonight. It is a cold night, as it usually is in Lemuria. So you're welcome to lay wherever it is that is most convenient to you, wherever is most comfortable. I will provide as many accommodations as I can. He takes some, like a kettle, puts it over the fire that Perrin started. He says, and of course, I will put together some warm beverages for mostly Sam, but for everyone here, as you might require. My quarters are up the stairs on the 3rd floor at the left side at the end of the hallway. If you need anything, feel free to come get me. Or, if you'd like, and he pulls out a bell and he says, you can always ring this. I will probably hear it. And if I do, I will do what I can to assist you.
Sounds highly demeaning, but we appreciate the help.
Well, I used to have it for the servants, but they all,
see.
They left.
Well, I do have one request. You mentioned that in one of the storybooks that you have here, the story of Rudy pops up and Mordant and other things that were from the other worlds we visited. Do you have that book and others perhaps in its other volumes? I'd be interested in having us read through some of those things.
Most certainly, sir. Of course, my library is at your disposal. He goes over to his library and he actually starts pulling out all of the volumes of Lemortia. There's 7 in total, and he pulls all of them out and says they are laid out chronologically. So if you want to start at the earliest days of Lemortia, you can start here. And this is all that we know. As far as things from other planes, there's not much I understand, but this is a land of science, so there are some things we do understand. And he starts pulling out, A Walk Amongst the Planes. He pulls out a book that is, what is the name of that book? Places in, basically the plains of Ravenloft. He puts that on the table. Interplanar travel. He puts a book down there about that. He says, this is everything that I have regarding the different planes, or specifically anything that might have to do with Lemortia specifically while you're here. Is there anything else I can help you with? Any other bits of information you might need? I'd be more than happy to help you.
I'm certain that I won't be able to get through all of this anytime soon. Perrin might be able to.
Yes, I'm sure it'll only take you 4 or 5 hours. It's like each volume is like thousands of pages. So I mean, you can tell he's probably a pretty avid reader based on that comment.
Do you have anything in there about a plane called Earth or America or
America? No, there's nothing really here regarding America. Is that what you said?
any pronunciation would be fine with me.
No, I don't believe I have anything with that bits of information. Although there might be something in it on interplanar travel. I'm not entirely certain.
That's actually the book that I'm walking over to grab. So as I'm picking it up and he says it, I kind of hold it up. Are you interested in reading through this, Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I hand it to you and go find another book.
Thanks. I open to page 1. I read page 1 very slowly, at a pace where to finish this entire thing would take me months.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm being careful.
Don't even bother.
I don't want to miss anything.
Don't even bother to look at the concordance or the table of contents or anything.
No, I'm going from the front.
Okay. Good luck.
Being thorough.
So
I'm gonna go check out the history of Lemortia, specifically looking about this living brain that apparently Rudy is an aspect of or something, trying to piece that together a little bit.
You do know that the story behind what is his name? Rudolf von Albrecher. My bad, I've been pronouncing that wrong. Rudolf von Albrecher is the living brain, and he was the son of a baron in a distant land, And
I guess more specifically, what I'm wanting to look for is trying to delve into a little bit of the psyche of what this, especially this Rudy persona that we found in another plane, might be after, like what his goals are, and then any weaknesses that it might have.
all right, go ahead. I don't. You're reading a book, so this shouldn't be that hard. But find it in one night, I'm gonna have you roll investigate.
I've been working all day on a review, on trying to write a review. It's harder than it sounds.
Right.
So.
10. All right, I'll say you find something. Right. Okay. So, what you know about Rudolf von Albrecht, or Rudy, as you have come to know him, is that he was a teenage boy, and he was on a ship with his father, and he apparently had some kind of mental breakdown and caused the ship to run aground. You know too that in this shipwreck, they ran aground on Lamortia, on the shores of Lamortia, when one of the apprentices of Dr. Mordenheim brought him to Dr. Mordenheim because he was the only survivor and he was barely hanging on to life. Dr. Mordenheim basically realized he couldn't save his body, and so instead put his brain in a jar of liquid that was supposed to keep it electrically stimulated, but wouldn't connect it to the rest of his body until he could reform another body for him. Unfortunately, the brain developed psionic abilities and then started mind controlling people, including to some large extent Dr. Mordenheim himself, to create for him a mechanism in which his brain could exist outside of his body. He then became essentially the dark, one of the aspects of the dark lorddom of Lamortia. He himself is not technically the Dark Lord of Lamortia, but he is the most visible, powerful being in Lamortia. People don't see the Dark Lord of Lamortia very often. They see Albrecher plenty. And it's terrifying because he's a giant machine with a floating brain in it.
And does he have a layer, or does he wander?
Oh yeah, he's got a layer.
Okay.
He's got lots and lots of minions that he uses mind control on. Weak-minded individuals who have come into his servitude by his psionic ability, and he's used that to basically create an entire. I won't say fiefdom for himself, but basically he's created a gang of psionic zombies who do his bidding, and they're absolutely horrifying.
Good to know.
Yeah. So that's what you know about him in Lamortia. As far as him as a kid, you don't know a whole lot other than he had some kind of mental breakdown, and at some point his brain was separated from his body, and part of somehow him ended up in Mordant. I'm gonna need passive perceptions from everybody because it might become relevant in a minute.
20.
20. Your passive perception is 20?
Yo,
21.
that's crazy.
Dang it.
What on earth?
15 for
15.
Aaron.
Like a
Wow.
reasonable person.
Do I need to say mine, or does it matter?
Yeah, say yours because individuals will notice certain things. So I'm assuming yours is not a 21. What on? Did y'all take the observant feat? Is that what happened?
No, I just have expertise.
Oh.
Yeah, I just considered it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, so that's going to be relevant later. All right.
Passive perception is
35.
11.
11. Okay, not quite 35. All right, so as you're all getting ready to go to bed, Tristan looks at all of you and says, I have had a long day. I know you all have as well. Feel free to stay up, read, enjoy the warm fire, talk, maybe get Sam over here to open up. It's up to you. I'm going to go to bed. And with that, he lights a candle and begins walking up the stairs. So you have the entire mansion to yourselves. What is everybody doing? I know what Jeff and Dreali are doing. What are Perrin and Zeres are doing?
I would also like to be reading literature in the library.
What specifically are you looking for, Perrin?
Oh, I'm looking for children's stories. You know, that's what I'm looking for.
All right. All right. So Perrin, you go over to start reading and look through a couple of books, and as you do, you notice some weird things start to happen. Nerdception. So, Perrin, as you begin reading, you find a book that seems to be calling to you. You feel something magically powerful about this book.
Whoa.
Drawing it to you. Or drawing you to it, rather. Roll. You can either choose to resist that urge to grab it, or you can just reach out and grab it. Up to you.
Oh, I want to grab it.
Okay, so you reach out and grab the book. When you grab the book, what you see is you are back in the void that you originally began this entire campaign in, the stars kind of all around you. You are sitting in nothingness.
Oh, dang it.
Everybody else, what you see is the entire room go to black and white.
Oh, so we all see this too.
Yes.
Cool.
You see the whole room go to black and white except for Perrin, who's in full color. And Perrin, describe what you do. I'm assuming you grab the book and it's now in your hands. You feel called to open it. Do you do so?
Yeah, of course I open it.
As you do, you open up the book.
To a random page, I might add.
All right. As you just open up the book to a random page, you see scenes start flipping by you as you flip through the pages. And as you open to a scene in the middle, you begin to read a story of a librarian. A librarian who has spent a lot of his time just sitting in a library. The world has passed him by, and in this particular scene of the book, a woman comes and is talking with the librarian, and as you're reading this, you start to visualize it in your mind, and you start to see it play out in front of you. You see what looks to be a very familiar sight, a librarian, but not just any librarian, you. Sitting in a chair with a woman sitting behind you crying, saying, "How can this mean more to you than me? How can this mean more to you than us? Why on earth would you leave me at home to do all of this while you sit here with your precious books? How could you do this to me?"
Aaron's a bit sad, you know? He's choked up. He doesn't say anything, though.
That's it? Nothing?
I turn
You
the
have no
page
response?
if possible.
Okay, so you begin turning pages. As it continues on, you notice that you are a little older in another scene as you're reading through. And as you are sitting there, you notice that this time the librarian, you, walking down the street reading a book. There are several beggars along the road that you're walking on, and they're calling out, "Sir, please, we need your help. Just a morsel of food. I don't ask for gold or silver or any of that. Just please, just one morsel of food." And you see that you continue walking and never look up from your book.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You'll notice that as you read the line, it was as though he lived in another world, as though he could not even physically hear him, as though his ears were removed from his body as he continued to walk on by. not even giving them a glance. Do you continue reading the scene to see where it goes?
Yeah.
Okay. As you continue, as you watch yourself continue to walk on, you find yourself in front of your home. Small, very modest place, and as you walk up to the door, you reach for your keys, and you go to put them into the lock of your house. You notice that there's a sign on the door, and it says, "Property of fill in the blank bank. This house has been foreclosed upon."
Aw. Bit of a bummer.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer.
Instead of going to the next page, I skip towards the end, I suppose.
Okay. As you skip closer to the end, everyone notices that you begin to have this red hue about you. You're still all in color, but there seems to be this red light that seems to be hovering over you. As you continue reading the story, you start noticing that you, as the character in the book, have some kind of rage. You just seem angry all the time, irritable. You, at this point, have turned to writing, and you're writing down some stories, and you're reading through books and writing down stories, and you sit behind a desk with a book on one side, writing these stories. And in the back of your mind, you can remember your parents, that at this point in time in your story, they're ill, and you've chosen to forget them. You've chosen instead to spend your time with these stories, because in your mind, fiction is kinder to you than reality. If you continue on towards the very end, you find yourself sitting in front of a physician, and the physician is saying, "I'm sorry, but there's not much that I can do. I'm afraid you only have a few months to live." And that is actually where the story ends.
I just want to make sure I understand correctly. So we're playing a game about a fantasy world, and in the fantasy world, we're reading a book, and in the
About
book
reality.
we're reading about a guy who reads books.
Yes, that is in fact.
I wanted to make sure I got all the layers.
Yep.
You sure the physician didn't read him his diagnosis?
Oh man. So.
I suppose I close the book. Do things return to normal?
Yes, as soon as you close the book, all of the color returns to the entire room. The book itself is just on the outside. It says the story of the librarian, but when you open it up again, nothing happens, and the story's written there, but the scene does not play out the same way. However, you do notice something, and that is that you do feel a twinge of magic that has kind of crept itself into your soul, as it were, as though there was some piece of you that was missing and now has somehow become awakened.
Interesting.
And so, where was it? I had one for you. Everyone's got a thing, so I gotta find your thing. Let's see.
What was in the book, Baron? The whole place went black and white again.
I thought you were gonna explode.
He might still explode.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Wouldn't want that to happen. Well, at first, it kind of felt like I was in the space before we entered the Vhag agency. But then, as I kept turning the pages, I saw a life flash before my eyes. Oddly
As in
enough,
like a biography?
it seemed more autobiography. This person seemed very similar to myself, but without you guys.
And without being sucked into the void, apparently. So, or I assume. So, probably better off, honestly.
Yeah, it sounds like a good deal.
He seemed unhappy, very irritated with life.
Were
I
you
mean,
unhappy and irritated before you joined us?
Uh, I I don't really remember that. I I was definitely searching for something, but I don't know if I was irritated per se.
Perrin, from now on, you have Zephyr Strike at first level one additional time per day.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it doesn't count against your spell slots, so congratulations.
Yeah, wouldn't want to take up those spell slots for Hunter's Mark.
All right. Well, with all that said, do you guys hit the sack, or y'all pull all-nighters and try to figure all this out?
No, eventually. Definitely before Perrin, and probably before Jeff. Dreali's gonna get tired and go to bed.
Cool.
Gonna
Jeff
go to
takes
like
the
a second floor bedroom or something.
Okay.
Actually,
Jeff.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say Jeff takes the book with him to bed, and is determined he's gonna read through the whole thing and falls asleep in about 5 minutes.
All right. Where exactly do you all go to sleep?
Where is Sam gonna be sleeping?
He
Like,
is
where did they
conked
put
out in
him?
front of the fire, in the main living area.
Then I'm gonna post up for a while in there to just keep watch.
Okay.
And
there are
probably
several
fall asleep on
couches
the
in there.
couch.
If
I'll
you-
fall asleep on the
it's
couch eventually.
The most comfortable place you've slept in a while, so probably ever
Do
in
I
your life,
have-
to be completely honest.
A tent or something in my pack? Do I have a pack?
You do. You have a pack, and you have a bedroll and a small tent. If you want to set it up
Oh
in
yeah,
this very
I
nice...
set that up in here.
You're in a very courtly estate, and you're going to set up a tent. Okay, yeah.
It feels more natural.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
set up your tent inside of this castle. That's fun.
Yup.
Zarazur, where are you?
Where am I sleeping?
Yeah, where are you going to sleep?
I will probably find a cozy corner or under a table or
I
something.
left the book I was reading open if you wanted to go lay on it.
That'd be perfect.
All right.
To specify though, since I'm just trancing, I go like kind of sit by the fire near Sam and like go into a meditation position and then just trance for a while.
Okay.
I use Mage Hand to pull the book over into a corner.
Ah, nice.
All right. So you pull the book over into a corner and go to sleep, I assume. Jeff, where are you in all this?
So Jeff decides, he has infinite wisdom, that the safest place, bad things keep happening to this group of people. So
Mhm.
Jeff is going to go to the top story in the mansion, to like the far corner, and sleep there. So if something horrible happens, he'll hear, and he'll have time to escape. Make sure there's a window.
There is, in fact, a window. It's on the 3rd floor.
Good.
So, do with that what you will. The room that's available on that floor is opposite Tristan's room. It faces out towards the front of the house. In case that becomes relevant later. But you actually have a kind of a nice view. There's this lake, beautiful icy lake that you can see out in the distance. It's actually where y'all were at earlier when you were trying not to die. So yeah, that's pretty neat, I suppose. So you're the only one who's not in the living area, from what I understand.
Yes. Yes,
Awesome.
that's correct.
Great. So you're not in the living area. This is good information to have. All right.
Yes.
So, with all that said, we're gonna quickly draw up a map. Actually, this becomes relevant. All right. Send that to the map layer. All right. Just so we've got things. I'll put things, just so we have things. All right. Let's see what is going on here.
Oh, I was just typing into the chat where within kind of the 8 hours of rest I take my trance, just in
I
case
see.
it
Okay.
becomes relevant.
That could definitely become relevant. So, let's put this over yon. Sorry for the delay here. All right. I'm gonna put that right there, and this one's important. All right, so I'm gonna just put that right there, and we'll put a balcony. Sure. All right. That should do the trick. Okay, so now that you all know what you're doing, more or less, or where you should be at.
We're sleeping.
Yeah, you should just all be sleeping
Ish.
at this point, roughly. And I guess I need to put the fire, because that's kind of a place y'all are all going to be at, from what I understand. Right? Y'all are all
Yeah, I'm
fire.
sitting within 5 feet of the fire.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is just kind of a rough guide for everything. Whoa. No. Rough guide for everything, where everything is at. All right, so moving you guys over. Bloop. You're over here, and I guess I should probably also move you to the layer, move you to actually that particular place. There we go. Can y'all see yourselves other than Dreali?
No.
You cannot?
Yes. I'm at the bottom of the map.
No, I can't.
Okay. You should have access to yourselves. Should be able to move yourselves, put yourselves where you feel like is most relevant for you to be. Makes sense. And of course, I'm gonna have to add. What on earth? Oh, there we go. What happened to? Nope, that's apparently not a thing. I had a Sam and I lost Sam. I lobster and never flounder.
Hey, we lost the Sam as well.
Yeah. So.
And then the trail went cold.
All right. Well, let's try. See who's a good one for him. Let's give you. Nope. That's definitely wrong. That's incorrect. Yep. Nope. Yep. There we go. Cool. There's Sam. He's asleep. Okay. Have you garnered the idea that something bad is about to happen yet?
No, not at all. Why?
No,
All
I think
right.
we're fine.
Perfect.
Also, wait. This is when I'm still on the bottom floor before I go up to my room.
Yeah. Well, you can go up to your room if you would like. So you can just put yourself on the balcony. I'll assume you're upstairs. How's that?
Okay. And it's the balcony. The balcony's at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roughly what hour is this that we're in?
3 a.m.
Cool. I'm definitely trancing.
All right. So, you're all chilling. Perrin is up by the door, I guess. That's where he's at, unless he moves himself. He's got his tent just basically facing the door.
Yep, you
Awesome.
got it.
Zerazer,
Yes.
You said you were in a corner. You're currently
Yeah.
in the middle of the room. Would you like to not be there?
I would like to not be there.
Okay. Which corner would you like? Or do you want to be by the fire?
Right there.
Perfect. All right.
Good corner.
Good corner indeed. All right. So, as all this is happening, and you're all sleeping peacefully, and everybody just thinks that everything should be just going hunky-dory at this point, bad things happen. I need everybody. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get to that in a second. So, as you're sleeping, you start to hear some commotion outside. Specifically, Dreali and Jeff. You hear some commotion coming from outside. Jeff, you hear commotion coming from across the hall in Tristan's room.
What kind of commotion do I hear?
You hear what seems to be a loud man's voice going through. It seems to be the sound of like going through drawers and throwing drawers across the room, and throwing some things on the ground, and lots of laughing, just maniacal laughing. You hear, oh yes, you thought you could hide from me, huh? You thought you were safe. That's what's going on across the hall.
What do I hear from downstairs?
Downstairs, you hear people outside. You hear the sound of like chains rattling. You hear metal clanking. You hear footsteps, and you hear, oh yeah, the boss man's really got us this time. We're gonna be having a good tonight. We're gonna sleep in a bed. We're gonna have real food. The boss is always looking out for us.
Okay.
Do I notice anything outside or no?
Yeah, you notice everything I just described, that there are people. There's actually, you can probably see them better than anybody out on the first floor. You're looking from above, and you see a group of maybe like 15 or so guys, all with weapons that look like they're about to just ransack the place.
I am going. Is it what all sources of light are there in the room? Is it just the fireplace at this point?
There's the fireplace. There are several lamps, actually. There is a large chandelier that seems to be magically lit in the center.
Okay, so there's nothing I can do to like put out the lights in the room quickly.
Yeah. There's if you wanted to put out the lights in the room, we will say that there is a convenient little magic switch near the entry of the house.
Okay, then I'm going to, as quickly and quietly as I can, get up, put out the fireplace, try and shake awake Zerazur, and then make my way to the front of the house where I can turn off the chandelier and wake up Perrin. I'm gonna have to avoid the windows as I'm going about, so you let me know what all I need to do.
All right, I need you
I'll kind of draw my route for you.
Yeah. I need you to roll stealth.
All right.
That's the first thing.
Stealth. Let's see. 17.
All right, 17. Thank you. And you go about your way. You try to wake up Perrin.
I try and wake up Zerazur first because he's right beside me.
Zerazur, you wake up to Dreali,
And
who's
just
in front of you.
you just see
doing
me
what?
put a finger over my lips, point to outside, and then go down and start getting to the front of the building.
All right.
Okay.
Zerazur, what do you do?
So he's running away. The other's not awake yet.
Perrin is still asleep, it would appear.
Yeah,
Which one's Perrin?
This John over here.
he's in a tent over by the door.
Nice.
So what do you do?
What's my movement?
Do you attempt to try to wake up Sam?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Oh, so he's still asleep as well.
Mm-hmm.
How tall were the ceilings down here?
The ceilings on the first floor, so it's actually the living area goes the entire height of the mansion, which is roughly 60 feet.
Okay.
It's quite tall.
They come over here and try and
if
wake
you're on the
it
third floor,
up.
it's probably going to be about 15 to 20 feet, roughly. All right, so you come over there next to Perrin. You attempt to wake him up.
Yep.
Okay, Perrin, you wake up. There's a cat on your face.
Ah,
Shh, get up. Leave quickly.
I,
People are coming.
get out of my tent.
Get out of your tent.
Zip, zip, zip.
I don't know if there are zippers on this tent.
Oh, sorry, is it Velcro?
Yeah.
It's
Velcro.
no, it's like you tie it.
Yeah,
with,
exactly.
Oh,
It's just one of those.
It's like lace.
let's
I
go-
like the idea of it as being a
Shoelace.
zipper.
All right, let's go back to Jeff, who's upstairs. Jeff, you're upstairs. There's some commotion going on across the hall. What do? You're in a room by yourself.
Does it count as if we've completed a long rest
Yes,
since
I
our
will
last
say you had a
combat?
long rest.
Okay.
Nice DN.
Jeff is very afraid, very concerned. He believes that Rudy has taken over the mind of our gracious host. He believes that he is closer to our gracious host than his friends are, which is a problem. He also believes that his friends are closer to the monsters outside than he is, which is also coincidentally a problem. As Jeff is thinking about this and is just absolutely afraid for his life, he looks down at his hands, thinking, "What?" No, he puts his hand over his face, like, "What am I gonna do?" And he realizes he can see through them. Jeff is very confused, and he stumbles out of his room, realizing he's invisible.
Oh. All right, I can work with that. You stumble out of the room invisible. About the time you stumble out of your room invisible, you see the double doors to Tristan's room burst open. The room is completely ransacked behind, but you see a man, a grisly looking man, wild hair. He's heavy set. He's got really nice clothes on, as though he's, somebody of importance, but he just looks very poorly kept up with. He's missing a couple of teeth. His jaws is kind of askew. His nose is really long and crooked. And
Do I know this man?
With your passive perception, you notice that this man, while he looks very different from your host, shares a couple of qualities with him. He seems to actually have a very similar style of clothing, although he could have just taken that from the room behind him. He has similar skin tone. His eyes are a different color, but they are kind of built the same way, if that makes sense. That's really where you notice the similarities, is the eyes. But other than that, he seems he seems similar, but definitely like a completely different human being.
Okay. I look at him. I glance down the stairs and look at my friends. Does it appear that they see him?
They do not seem.
I thought
Well,
you were
actually,
on the third floor.
We're on the balcony.
Yeah, there is a balcony out there, and as he walks out, Dreali, you notice from the third floor that there is in fact a man of the description I just gave you sitting at the third floor of the building.
How close are we to darkness in here, or is it still dim lighting?
It's very dark in here at the moment.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you notice that he's at the top of the stairs, but I'm actually gonna roll something real quick.
In that case, if it's dark,
He
if
doesn't
there's
see y'all. He actually
yeah,
doesn't
if there's
see
darkness in
anything.
here, nobody in here can see me at the moment.
Okay. He doesn't see you. He doesn't see Perrin. He doesn't see Zerzur. He certainly doesn't see Jeff.
I don't either.
And very still, very close to the wall.
Okay. As you are sitting there very still, very close to the wall, he begins to start slowly moving, and he peeks down the stairs. You see him looking around. He looks a little confused, but he begins to try to peek around, and he begins to slowly walk down the stairs. He's actually got a cane with him, and you hear this clacking on wood stairs as his boots hit each step, followed by the rasp of the metal tip of his cane. With each step, as he makes his way down the stairs, finally arriving at the first floor. By this time, it's going to take him a while to get down there. Does anybody want to hide, or are y'all going to just stay where you're at?
As soon as he gets onto the stairwell, once I get all the light sources out, and then as soon as he gets onto the stairwell, I'm gonna rush over to where Sam is and try and drag him underneath this table.
Okay, so you go and grab Sam. I need you to roll sleight of hand to keep him quiet.
Okay. Sleight of hand to keep him quiet.
Athletics for grapple, can we do that?
No, 26 is fine.
That works out, but 26 will work just fine. You manage to slip your hand over his mouth, and he actually makes no sound at all, but he does wake up quite alarmed, and you drag him underneath the... I'm in the wrong layer.
Yeah, and as we're going, I say very quietly, Sam, do not speak, do not move. There are people outside, and there is a monstrosity of a human coming down the steps right now. We will take care of it. Stay hidden and stay here. And then I get him underneath the table.
All right, so you get him underneath the table. Let's see. And I'm going to get a little token for our friend here.
Also, I hand him back the dagger. I leave the dagger with him that I had gotten back from him when he vanished before.
Okay, so you hand him the dagger. He just kind of like looks at you and like looks at it, and he's like, seems really freaked out at the moment.
I thought he was about to talk.
Yeah, he's gonna say
Defense only, don't attack.
He nods, and still seems rather confused, but he's, this is what he's got going on. So you and him are hiding in the table. Perrin, Zerzur, what are you doing?
I would like to hide.
All right, find a spot and roll stealth. Which I guess I should also make Dreali and Sam do that too. All hiding under the table. It's getting really crowded down here.
Okay, I mean, is there something over here that I can
Sure,
hide
let's
behind?
say there's a table over there.
Oh, a table.
Yeah, let's put a table
Perfect.
over there. It's a big dining table, matter of fact.
This is a very empty room.
It is, it in fact is a very empty room. All right, there, table, less empty now. You roll stealth.
And stealth.
It's definitely not your best stealth roll. I'll give you that. Dreali, roll me a stealth roll. All right, Dreali.
I was muted that whole time. Since we are in darkness, I am invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see me. So would you like me to roll with stealth with advantage or
Roll
straight?
stealth with advantage.
All right. 27.
Perfect. Zerzur, what do you do?
The tent is still here, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm
should
going
put
to
that
stay
up as
in
well.
the tent and make rustling sounds.
Oh, okay. Roll performance. All right. Oh, there we go.
Wow.
And you rolled about as well as Perrin did, so... All right. You are all happy with where you're at.
I'm in the tent.
Okay, cool. You make rustling
You can't really
sounds.
see me.
Yeah.
I go ahead and draw my bow and knock an arrow.
Okay. As this guy continues climbing down the stairs, he gets to the bottom and walks across. He gets to the fireplace, notices that there are some fresh coals, and just kind of pokes them with his cane. Slowly walks over to here. He gets about here. He stops. And he
I
looks.
draw my bow very quietly.
He looks over at the tent. He's very confused by the fact that there's a tent in the middle of this living area. And he comes over
Is
with
he confused the fact that it's making noise?
Yeah, he hears noises and he pokes at it with his cane. Who's in there?
I shoot him with an arrow.
Roll initiative, everyone.
took my surprise round away.
Not
Oh,
yet.
sorry.
Not
I was
yet.
I'm hoping he is surprised.
He gonna be surprised to get shot when he poked his tent.
Yep.
Who's in there? Oh gosh.
All right.
Oh boy. All right. I need initiatives from. I'll add a turn for you, sir. All right. I need initiatives from everybody. Who wants to go first? Zerazer, what did you roll?
21.
That's pretty high. You'll go pretty close to first. Jeff,
Lower 6.
a lower 6.
Someone else will have higher
I'm the
6.
higher 6.
Aha.
Parent.
And I added them together to get a 12.
Well done.
Yes, very nice, very nice. And then Perrin is a 6, but is a higher 6. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, and then 12. There we go. And just get rid of. Doesn't seem like that one's gonna join us. Okay. Perfect. Going first. Zerazer, you get a surprise round.
You hear the arrow loose from the corner, and you leap out and strike, I assume. By leap out, I mean
Probably.
throw a fireball.
Probably what he does.
Yes.
He just goes boom.
Jump out,
Doesn't even throw
I
it.
jump
He just
out.
casts it on himself.
hiss, and then
He's like,
Uh,
"Oh, it was just a cat."
it's just a cat.
Ah!
That was my original plan, was just a cat, then run away and be just completely
Darn
distracted,
cat.
confused, and just kind
So-
of ignore everything
Here.
else.
Phew. Darn cat! Ugh! All right.
But anyway, since you released that, jump out, and then I'm going to jump on top of his head and cast
Shocking grasp.
Shocking Grasp.
All right. You cast that shocking grasp. Roll it. He just kind of like swats at you.
Then I run over here.
Nothing seems to happen. He doesn't seem to get shocked, but it definitely did not seem like he enjoyed that. Next up.
Out of curiosity, wait, since this is a surprise round, does he get advantage on that attack?
Yeah, you know
I don't
what? You
remember
do
how
get
surprise
advantage
rounds
on that.
work.
That's how surprise rounds work, yeah.
I got you.
Oh my goodness. All right, yeah, so you do manage to shock him. You grab him. He's got a metal helmet on. You grab his metal helmet, and
Oh,
you
he
just
had
hear...
advantage anyways.
as he kind of gets shocking. And let's see here. Let's do that for now. Cool. You deal him 9 damage as he hurts. All
I
right.
run away and hiss at him.
All right, you do so.
I
Dreali.
hate it whenever cats have all that static build up on them. It's ridiculous.
Indeed. Dreali,
All right,
you
so
attack
shooting
with your arrow.
shooting from the darkness, that would be a 19 to hit.
It does hit.
And I will go ahead and put Hunter's
There's a
Mark on him
26
as well.
to hit, but yes, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, and not 19. So Hunter's Mark, I hit him. I'm going to add Favored Foe to that. And then since it's the first round, I can make one additional weapon attack as part of the action. I guess that'll be a separate attack, though. So I'll deal with that in a second.
Okay.
So this first one is going to have the weapon damage, the damage from Hunter's Mark, the damage from Favored Foe, and the damage from Sneak Attack, plus my Dex. And then, because of the Assassinate feature, since it is a surprise round, it's an automatic crit.
So roll that double dice.
31 damage.
You do a lot of damage as
And then I add on a second attack, which will just deal the He'll take an extra. So tell me what you think of this. If I take the attack action on my turn, I can make one additional weapon attack as part of that action. If it hits, the target takes an extra D8 of the weapon's damage type. So that shouldn't. I don't think that would add favored foe or hunter's
No.
mark, would it?
No, it
Okay,
should not
I
add.
didn't think so.
So just
That was
roll
my
the D8,
interpretation as
yeah.
well.
The 18 will hit.
Okay, so then another arrow comes flying right after it, splits the first arrow right down the middle for another 7, so total of 38 piercing damage.
All right, you watch as he's sneaking around. He pokes, he gets zapped by a cat, and then just shot straight through the chest.
And then I
gosh.
step 10 feet that way, and theoretically, I'm still invisible to him.
What do you- And with that, you notice he didn't seem to enjoy that too much. Perrin.
Oh. I would like to shoot at this guy, but I would like to use my cool little hunter's mark first.
All right, you use Hunter's Mark and shoot with advantage
Wait, why is it with advantage?
because you beat his
Surprise round.
Well, it's a surprise round.
Ah.
1, 2. You beat his perception check to see you.
Oh, nice.
With your 8 stealth.
Yeah!
Oh no!
He rolled a nat 1.
Pow! Oh no!
Ooh,
You
you rolled a
crit.
nat 20.
You freaking crit. Ah!
Well,
Not,
odd.
that's not how I saw this going at all.
Just trying to show me up, aren't you?
You just see pew pew pew.
Now an arrow flies through the tent.
Question.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna have a hole
Would
in your tent
that
after this, yeah.
would a no my tent? Does the crit damage apply to the hunter's mark?
Yes.
D6.
Yes, it does.
Sweet. And is this person undead?
No.
Okay. Well, in that case,
You
just-
only do 18 damage.
I will attack again.
You roll
Does that have
attack.
advantage?
It's still a surprise
I
round.
think it's still. Yeah. Go ahead. I mean.
He
might as
has
well.
the surprise condition
it's-
if during the surprise round, which
Uh,
gives
does
people
it-
advantage on him.
Yeah. All
Does
right.
21 hit?
It does. Roll damage.
Plus.
Although I guess theoretically the darkness could be
Ow.
counteracting the advantage. I don't know.
Take your 13.
He does. He does get hit again, and it does not seem to feel good. However, you'll notice that this time he just starts getting really angry when you hit him with that arrow. Jeff, what do you do?
This guy's about to Hulk out on us, guys.
Which way is he facing?
He's facing the door at this point, like the door to leave right over here. He's facing away from you.
Okay. So Jeff's still panicking, and as he's panicking, he realizes all of a sudden that he can see himself, and simultaneously, that's bad. And simultaneously, there's this horrifying monster that appears right here near the middle.
All right, there's the horrifying monster.
Oh.
Except the horrifying monster actually looks quite scared this time too. It's almost like I picked the fear version.
That's not going to be visible. I need to pick something else. But yet I can't find anything better. So this is what we're going to do, and I'm just going to mark him with a thing. There. Oh, nope. Wrong. Missed it. There we go. All right, cool. All right. Fear monster here. That where you want it? Right there?
A little lower. 2 squares lower.
Okay.
And then, can I move the fear monster on my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fear monster is going to move its movement speed, so 40 feet down.
Okay.
And then fear monster is going to use its. Actually, I'm gonna say it was sneaking on the way down, so it used its action to double move and it was moving
Okay.
at half speed, all that. And then it uses its bonus action to hide behind the tent.
Okay. Roll stealth
Okay.
with advantage.
What does it have for stealth? It has +3 unless there's something else. Yeah.
Let's see it.
17.
All right. You roll 17. He then. This guy,
Jeff, by the way,
Okay.
falls prone. Sorry, I forgot to mention
He
that. After noticing he
falls
can see
prone.
himself.
Okay, you fall. He falls prone. At this point, this guy just starts shouting, like screaming, angry screams. "Ah!" He seemed like he was on the verge of death a moment ago, but now he seems to have found a little bit of reinvigorated health, and he runs over with his cane. He flips on the lights. He says,
Rude.
"Now it's my turn." And with that, all of his friends then crash through windows and doors in order to, make life not very fun for y'all. That's actually fairly valid at this point. Yeah, you had a good ambush. I'll give you that. That was a solid ambush.
Yeah.
All right. They crash through the windows and doors. With that, he also will turn around. He's going to roll.
Wow, he must have had a crazy high initiative.
He did. He had a very high initiative. Dreali, I need you to... He had a 22. I need
Jeez,
you...
amazing.
Actually, I need everybody to make stealth rolls.
Okay.
Unless you want to keep the ones
No.
you had.
I mean, while I'd be fine keeping the ones I had, Dreali was counting on the fact that in the darkness he's invisible, so he's kind of just standing up against a wall.
Yeah.
So if anything, I'll make it with like disadvantage. Just hope they don't see me. Is that cool?
Yes, if you're standing up, if you're not actively hiding under something, which at this point I think is Sam and Perrin, and that's it. And Jeff. Everybody
They have line
else,
of sight to me based off of the balcony and perhaps a railing and all that.
Probably, it's difficult to see you. At this
It's
point.
likely they wouldn't go after you.
He would
first.
have to really be looking for you.
So,
So is my stealth roll normal, or do I get a
Normal,
modifier?
normal stealth roll.
all right, I'll give you one with disadvantage because I'm
Okay.
just kind of holding still against a wall.
Okay, with
Still a 19.
disadvantage, yeah, that's still not bad. So at this point, he sees Perrin hiding under. Perrin, did you roll with advantage?
Oh, with advantage? Oh, I would love to roll
Yeah,
again.
why don't you go ahead and roll with advantage? I know that's kind of being. Okay, well, that didn't really make much of a difference.
It did not.
So
Does he see the cat
does he see the cat that's sitting in the
or
middle
the
of the room?
shadow monster?
He doesn't see the shadow monster because the shadow monster's hiding behind the tent, but he does see Perrin, and he sees the cat.
Does he recognize the cat is an enemy?
Yes, you're the only one he's actually seen so far. Before
He
now.
assumes you did all of that damage to
Right.
him.
He's just like,
Yeah. That's true.
and
His
since
friends might not know.
right, he decides that he doesn't like you very much. You need to make a wisdom save, Zerzer.
Not what I thought would come from him.
Yeah, right.
I didn't think him to be very wise.
All right, you do make. You start to feel all of this like fear and just emotional pain creep into your mind, but you push it away, noticing that you have been through worse trauma before, and this ain't nothing, fool. With that, he's gonna have his turn, but these guys don't move the table. We don't move the table. No, we move that to the map layer, and then we apparently put all of the guys. One goes over.
Oh no,
here.
are they all in the map? Okay.
One will go over here because there's no way they didn't freaking see you. And these guys are gonna actually. Whoa, again with the moving of the things. These guys are gonna try to move towards the cat. So one of them actually leaps over the table, and this one, I'm gonna actually see if he sees you. He doesn't.
Amazing.
What on earth? These guys are terrible, terrible perception rolls. Don't see Sam, don't see Dreali. They walk right over to the cat and begin to try to waylay the cat. because that seems like a normal behavior for people. So, let's see. What is your AC? Zerazur?
16.
Those are each with a +3. Holy cow. Your AC is 3?
16.
Oh, 16. I misheard that.
3.
Sorry, I totally misheard. Your AC is a 3, right?
Actively jumps in the way of swords.
Alright, your AC of 16 prevents you from getting hit from any of them as they all try to swing at you and you nimbly dodge out of the way in your cat-likeness.
Yeah, they didn't go to sword school to try and hit cats.
To be fair, their ability to use a sword came because somebody reached into their brain and told them how to. So, Perrin, 2 of them attack you. What is your position here? Are you squatting? Are you standing? Just kind of knelt next to the table? Are you actively laying underneath the table?
It's a squat.
Okay. I won't say they have advantage because I'm a nice DM, but theoretically that might make sense.
You could give them
those are with
advantage and
+3.
give them half cover.
There you go. That works. All right, so neither one of those is going to hit you either, I assume, because your AC is probably above a whatever 12.
It is a 15.
Yep, that's more than 12. All right, that's everybody's turn. Move on to the next round of combat, which is on to Zerazur. Zerazur, you're surrounded. What do you do?
Let's see.
I cast Fireball on myself. Poor Sam.
I mean, don't forget there's a terrifying shadow monster that he summoned as well.
Zerazur knows where that came from.
Dreali doesn't.
Yeah.
You can't tell who's under
You turn the
table.
lights on and there's this shadow monster and everyone's like, whoa!
Sam is under the table if it makes a difference, Austin.
Yeah.
So I don't want to burn up Sam.
No, you don't want to burn Sam up, I assume.
Unless he's still kind of chilly.
Alright, I think I am going to just sprint, or not sprint, but run over this way.
Run over which way?
This
Okay. That provokes. Each of those with a +3 will all miss. Holy
I
cow.
love your rolls tonight.
Dear
I like that.
goodness. Oh my gosh. They're terrible. They're terrible rolls. Alright. And do you do anything else?
I'm trying to think.
Cast Fireball in such a way that it only hits those 4.
I'm trying to think if that's possible.
It's 20
you just
foot,
have to
right?
cast it towards you.
What?
Yeah, dude. 1, 2, 3. Here. Wait, one more. Here.
Is it a 20-foot radius?
I thought it was 20 foot, which would put me in it.
Not here.
It would also put Sam in it.
Or
Oh,
it
I
would
see
hit
the
either
problem.
me or Sam.
Yeah.
Where's Sam? Oh,
You could get half of them and put it like over here.
You know what? I'm just gonna put it over here because I don't know what this shadow monster is, and as far as
Fair.
I know, it's an enemy. So
Fair. And that does not hit any of your teammates. So
Yep.
they will make some rolls. The first 3 they're making, is it a dex save?
yeah,
All right, they're all gonna roll with a +2, 15, 13, 7. Do any of those make?
what was the
15, 13,
First one?
and 7. 15, 13. And
the
7.
15 ties?
Okay, so the 15 will make.
So it takes half of this.
Let's go. All right. So it takes half of 31. The other guys take 31. Is what you're
Yeah.
saying. The other guys are gone. They're donezo. They're burnt to a crisp.
Your tint is also gone. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that tint is mad gone by now. Let's go to.
I just stayed in my pack.
And then do the shadow monster.
If it
Does
makes
Brett
you-
roll for the shadow monster or do you?
If it'll make you feel better, I will replace it with a nice, comfy book I found. Okay, the
and
table's
does, like,
gone
look.
apparently.
Hey, and so are the things that were attacking. Oh my goodness, a lot of things are gone.
No. Oh my god.
Oh, you just moved that to the map, to the token layer, didn't you?
I did.
Nice.
Layer. We just move this to the.
Yeah.
That should just be on the map layer then, and this.
So does Brad need to roll a dex save for the shadow monster?
That's a good question.
Yeah, unless you think it's relevant. What do you think? Does 31? Is it gonna make a difference? What's
As to,
if he's
like,
still
are you
up?
asking if it has 15 or health?
Yes,
or less
that's
health?
what I'm asking.
No, it has 35.
Oh, so this is relevant. Okay.
So it survives either way.
Yes, it does
Yeah.
survive either way. All right, cool. So it will take 31 of that, and now it is down to 4 hit points.
And did Scary Face make?
Scary face. Do you mean this guy? Oh, I didn't roll
Yeah.
for him yet. That's a good point.
Haha!
He's rolling a dex save. He fails. He will take that, and he will drop.
His name is actually Saren, based
Dude,
off his rolls.
That's exactly what it feels like. These guys are very confused now. These guys are all standing around with swords, and they still seem like they want to fight you, but they're not sure why. Just keeping that all out there. So, with that said, that was Zerazur's turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all hurting.
Good. That was
Next
the goal.
step, Dreali.
I use my full action to move here, my bonus action to go ahead and dash. Sorry, not my action. I use my full move to get over
Gotcha.
there, then my bonus action to dash. That's 20 feet of my movement right there, so I have another... sorry, no, that's 25 feet of my movement. I have another 10 feet. I flip the switch back off to turn the lights back off.
Okay.
Step to here, draw my bow, and shoot that guy in his... Actually, I'll step to here, draw my bow, and shoot that guy in the back of the head.
Okay, go for it.
Do I have advantage due to being invisible to him or nah?
He just saw you.
Yeah, so that's why I stepped 10 feet away.
Okay, roll stealth. If you're gonna
Fair
do that.
enough.
Yeah, that.
27.
I'm not even gonna bother rolling that. Yes, you have advantage.
Haha!
Why does he keep doing this? I don't understand.
Then I will shoot him
All I'm trying to do.
for 6 piercing damage plus 9 sneak attack damage. I don't have favored foe or hunter's mark on him.
He
so-
drops. All right, because he was already quite damaged. So.
Appreciated.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yep. That was everything.
Perrin.
Ow. Bow. It looks like there is this dude here, correct?
Mhm, there's a guy there.
I am going to pow, get over there, and then guess what? I'm shooting him.
I'm surprised
Success.
the ranger is gonna shoot him.
Oh, sorry. I would like to cast my hunter's mark first.
You do that. The 14.
Does a 13
will-
hit? Sorry.
Oh, that's a 13. The 13 will not. hit.
Yeah. A 13 will not.
A 13
Sadness.
will not. Yeah. Sorry.
No worries. I'll do it again. And miss again.
Yep. That is less hitting than the last one.
That's okay.
All right, Jeff.
Okay, I am going to. Well, these are positioned poorly. Thinking with geometry, 1.5.
Actually, what did
3,
Sam do? Did he just stay still like I told him
Yes,
to?
he did. He's still under the
I'm
table.
so proud
They're
of him.
feet away from him, and they don't see him. So the
Wow.
lights are now off too. Jeff, you don't have dark vision, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, I might have
Jeff
blinded
does
you.
not have dark vision. Jeff
Yep.
cannot see things
Yep.
very well.
This is true. Well. Alright.
In total
What does Jeff
darkness, you
do?
would be
What
considered
can Jeff
blinded.
do? Oh, I have the light spell. What's the range on that?
Is it 60? I don't remember.
The players are
Touch.
just spending the entire time turning the lights off and on. Oh man.
Lights off, lights on, lights off, lights on. We're doing the way you win by giving them a seizure. Let's go.
Yeah, there's not a lot I can do.
It's a touch range.
Fireball into the darkness. Yeah, fireball into the darkness is one option, but that doesn't seem very friendly to my team.
Jeff doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, but I don't think the fish would fireball into the darkness.
Is the fish in charge of it? Aha!
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
Oh yeah. Dang it.
I'm gonna stay crawling and double move in the general direction of the staircase. So Jordan, let me know how far I get.
You make
Okay,
it. You
cool.
make it down the first flight of stairs.
It was a good turn, past turn.
Yes. All right, moving on. It's the bad guys' turns. Yeah, and these guys right here, they just watched a cat run away. They're not too thrilled with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one's gonna move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's gonna move here. This one's gonna move here, and this one's gonna move here. Cerezer, they attack. And the CR for this encounter was way higher than it ended up presenting itself as.
2 of those hit.
Very nice. 2 will hit, and they will deal a total. Here we go. 15 damage as they slash at you with their swords. And they are very confused as to why they are cutting up a cat. That seems.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused as well. Why would they cut up? Why would they be attacking me?
That seems very odd. Yeah. What happened to the shadow monster? That's a good question.
Yep, forgot to take it. Fair.
Do you want it to go down?
I would like that. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. What does it do?
1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. Okay, I can make it. The shadow monster is going to move to a. Okay, so how far is the range on that? Sorry, there's lots of math going on right now. Judgment between 30 feet. 1, 2, 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. That would work. Sure. Wait, that would scare him. Can I? Okay, whatever. Shadow Spawn is going to sprint over here and dreadfully scream, and the 4 baddies right here, and unfortunately Zerezer as well, need to make a wisdom save.
All right. Does a 21, 20, 12, or 8 make?
The 12 and the 8 fail.
Okay. What happens?
They are frightened, and unfortunately Zerezer needs to save as well.
Roll that not damage. Roll that.
What did
Wisdom
save?
Wisdom. Okay, you're frightened as well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't do much to help. Can we mark the ones that are frightened?
Yes, I can. I will mark them as woo creepy. Sure, we'll go with that.
I will say this did not help my impression of the shadow monster that was on our side.
Fair. It ran up and screamed really loud and you got scared.
Yeah.
That's turn.
Ah!
I will.
All right. That was your turn. What? It was Zerazer's turn, I guess. Yeah. Right?
All right.
Yeah, Zerazer.
I interrupted.
You're fine.
All right. So we decided how Thunderwave works, right? It's a square like in front of you or something.
Yes, it's not centered on you. It's centered in front of you. It starts in front of you. Let's go with that. Which is advantageous in this particular situation. Actually, it would be more advantageous if it started from you, but you get the idea. It still works.
Yep.
Still helpful. You want to cast it.
Let's see.
You take a step back and then you cast it.
Yeah.
Okay. You provoke from 3 of them. Does a 16 hit? I'm sorry, does a 15
It
hit?
ties.
15.
No,
It's
15 does not hit.
Okay, yeah, sorry, they miss. So the 3 that attack miss, and do you cast the thing?
Yes.
They need to make dex saves, I assume.
Constitution.
Constitution. Oh, that's terrible. They're not really good Constitution.
I hear that.
That's -1 to each. So a 14, a 3, a 9, and an 11.
They all
They all
fail.
fail. All right, and they take 10 damage each.
Yep.
Oof. As
Don't they also get pushed back by this?
Yes.
Cool.
in what direction and how far?
10 feet away from me.
Okay, 10 feet away from you. We'll put him here, 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 and here. Cool. They don't seem to like that very much.
And I'm going to continue my movement.
Okay. Alrighty, Dreali.
So luckily these guys are still inside my dark vision range, so I can see them, but it's pretty fuzzy. So I'm going to step forward to, I'll step forward to here, so that's 3.5 of my 7 squares of movement, and I'm gonna shoot the one closest to me. Do you want me to roll stealth or anything, or do you want me to just roll straight? How do you want me to do it?
You're in dim lighting?
Up to you. I turned off all the lights, but I don't know if there's other light sources that are making it dim
There
instead
are
of
not
darkness.
other light sources, so you are in. I'll treat it as dim lighting. So you have
Wait, so there's no light sources, so is it darkness or dim lighting?
dark vision, yes.
Yeah, I have dark
You
vision. I'm
treat
not worried
dark
about that.
vision as dim lighting.
Yes,
for
but
vision
darkness would
purposes.
make it where I was invisible.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah,
but
okay,
you have
cool.
disadvantage because.
Dim lighting just
lighting.
makes it where you have disadvantage on making perception checks.
Alright, sure. We'll just go with that. You have advantage, go for it.
Yeah. Did my research. So I
crit will
crit,
hit,
and
yeah.
that adds my sneak attack damage to it. So he takes
He drops.
25 damage.
He drops. Most
And then
certainly drops.
and then I'm going to disappear back here into the darkness behind the tent.
Sounds good. And roll stealth again with advantage.
Oh yeah, I will go ahead and take the hide action with my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Good call.
The 26 will work. Perrin. You got a guy across the
Interesting.
table from you.
Interesting.
You got a couple
Still
of guys over
that
here.
same guy. Yeah. I will shoot the person across the table from me.
You roll it.
Ooh. Bummer. All right,
Yeah.
17. Let's go.
There you go.
Pow.
Since he didn't see you, you did have advantage. It is dark in here, and I don't think you have dark vision, but I'm gonna let that go for now. And you do hit him. Roll damage.
I mean, I was assuming I multi-attacked in second hit.
Oh, second. Okay, multi-attack. Yeah, perfect. So the second attack hits. Roll the damage.
Yeah.
Jordan, if you were interested in using it, then anybody who didn't have dark vision in the darkness would be blinded.
Blinded. Oh my
Fun.
gosh.
Yeah, that's really bad because there is no light source currently.
Yay!
All
That's where
right.
Dreali operates.
Yep, I finally gave you your opportunity. 22 damage as he ceases to exist at
Yep.
all.
Perfect.
Great, fantastic. There's only 3 guys left, and they are running for their lives. Well, 2 of them are at least. Jeff.
All right. So the shadow monster is just gonna.
He's just gonna.
He's being very quiet about whatever he's doing.
Oh, by the way, these guys get to make a save at the end of their turns.
Okay.
They do so. he is going to reach out a chilling hand and attempt to poke that guy. So that is d20 plus. Oh, with spell attack modifier, no wonder I didn't see a number. So 21 to hit, and the damage is.
Is this thing immune to blindness?
No.
Then it has disadvantage. Unless it's
Unless
a
it has
save.
dark vision.
Yeah, unless it has dark vision.
The being of darkness does not have dark vision. No. 13 hit.
Technic. Also,
13.
wouldn't it cancel out since they're blinded? I don't know if they're blinded. Actually, that's a good point.
They are, but the dark thing is also. But
Yeah, so-
I think it's fine because it's a save, right? Or is it an attack?
It's an attack.
Okay, so the 13 is the disadvantage roll. That actually will work. And it needs to do what happens here?
15 damage of the cold variety.
Oh, he dies.
Nice.
Falls over to the ground, fearful and cold.
Okay, and then Jeff keeps sneaky breaky crawling his way downstairs,
Must
and this
be
guy
in
needs to
stairs.
make a wisdom save.
Makes a wisdom save. Does a 20 make?
It does. Nothing appears to happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that
Nice.
is that turn?
Yes.
All right, it's the bad guy's turn, and the guy looks around. These two look around and go, this guy's terrified, right? This guy's, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to. We don't know why we're here. All right, we just. And he like throws his sword on the ground. The other guy, like realizing he's at a huge disadvantage as well, also throws his on the ground. He's like, I don't know where you are, but please don't hurt us, please. They start cowering and trembling. They are now in the fetal position, both of them on the ground, and disarmed. Take with that what you will. As Dreali, you will see this with your dark vision. This guy, kind of comes to a little bit.
Which guy?
This one right here.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
Yeah. And he quickly stands up and he says, I didn't expect Tristan to have company. I'll see you all later. And he bolts out the door. You may choose to run after him if you would like, but it is cold outside.
All right. I assume it's Zerzur's turn.
It is, in fact, Zerazur's turn.
And these two don't look like they're fighting anymore.
Do you have dark vision? I'm gonna give you dark vision. That would make perfect sense for you to have dark vision.
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
you
know.
said during the first session he had dark vision.
Yep,
With
dark
this
vision.
race.
You've got dark vision. You do see them drop their weapons and kneel down on the ground
Then I will not
in their lives.
attack them.
Right.
Although
I
I'm
was-
still terrified of this thing, so I think I'm going to throw a firebolt at
You
it.
can, yes, and then you can make a wisdom save at the end of your turn.
Oh, I guess so. You're at disadvantage. Oh, but you would cancel out because attacks against it have advantage right now.
Why would I be at disadvantage?
Because you're frightened, right?
Oh, does that give you disadvantage?
As long as you can see the source of your fear.
Ah.
Okay. So you're making an attack against it?
Yep.
And what is the attack?
Firebolt.
Okay. Can this thing take fire damage?
I hope so. The fireball
know
thought
it.
so.
Alright, it takes 9 damage, and I assume it ceases to exist unless it can't take fire damage.
Brad,
It can indeed take fire damage.
Okay.
does 9 drop it?
Takes
Yeah.
9
Yeah.
and drops. Cool,
Nice.
you got rid of the shadow monster. The big scary, the most scary thing here, apparently, because apparently
Well
nothing
done.
else can roll. All right, can we say that we break turn order at this point?
I'm going to immediately run towards the door, and then out of the darkness, an arrow flies at the back of the man running away.
Roll with, just roll. Roll a standard.
Just straight roll?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Straight roll.
Okay, that would be a, come on, a 15.
Does not hit.
Dang it! I thought
Yeah.
my hiding would have given me advantage.
Nah, he expected to be
Um,
shot at running out the door.
no, that's fair. Yeah, definitely not surprised.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast Hunter's Mark on him then,
Okay.
so that I can track him easily.
He's okay. Yeah, you do that.
And then I'm going to take a step out the door and see how awfully cold it is.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
That I can do my best for. 15.
15 will make.
All right.
It's quite frigid outside.
Immediately, my muscles all tense up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me. I'm not gonna pursue him for super far if it matters, but the longbow does have 150 feet of range and 600 long range. So I'm gonna be using the snow to hide and trying to shoot him from random spots.
Okay. We'll say out of combat order. As you're hiding in the snow, he looks back. He doesn't see you, and you can maybe try to make a shot at him. But before that, he's gonna try to actually teleport away, and he does so.
All right. My arrow whizzes through the air where he was once standing,
Mm-hmm.
just as he vanishes. I come back inside, very cold.
Okay.
What were y'all doing while I chased?
Yeah, that's a good question. There are guys on the floor now. What do y'all want to do with them?
I'm gonna run up to Sam or stumble my way over to Sam and make sure he's okay.
Okay. You're in the dark, so Sam is sitting there quietly holding a knife under the table, breathing
Does he
very
try to
heavily.
stab me?
Oh no, he's probably blinded.
I'm gonna roll a quick roll here.
I hope you announce your presence.
He figures out that it's you, and he just kind of like looks at you, and he just kind of like holds the knife and looks down at the knife and looks at you again. And what do you do?
Do I have any taffy from...
You do, yeah.
Yeah, I give him some taffy.
You hand him the tap, and his eyes get real big, and he just kind of smiles and looks at you, and you hear a kind of like a very subtle chuckle, which is the most noise you've heard from him so far.
I don't say anything, and then I go over and try to take care of the bodies.
When you say take care of the bodies, the two of them are still alive. I hope you know that.
Oh, oops.
I take care of
He plunges a dagger into the first one, and the second guy that's still awake is like, no, he had a pulse!
take care
when I
of the
say-
bodies. They weren't bodies before you took care of them, but okay.
Well, okay. I guess in that case, I
He's
can't
not
see much,
yet.
so
Yeah.
I'll just stay with Sam.
Yeah, that works. All right, Jeff, what do you do?
Jeff is going to. Yeah, he is going to. He's still convinced that these guys are a threat. You know, they look pretty scary to him in the fetal position. So Jeff is going to actually, now that he's made it down here, you know, made sure everyone's okay, done his part, he's going to come back upstairs and supervise.
Okay, you stand at the top of the stairs and supervise. There, what do you do?
I come sit over by the fire on my book.
Okay. All right.
Just observe the room.
When I walk back in, I see that these two guys, I guess, are still in fetal position, or have they moved by that point?
Real quick, I'm gonna check something. Yeah, they are still in the fetal position. They have not moved at
Okay.
all.
Then I start walking over that way
I also
and
tell
putting away
them-
my bow.
When I come over here, I tell them to not move and just stay there.
They hear from the cat, don't move. And that they don't.
Yeah, I put away my bow as I'm walking towards them, and I say, from the darkness, "Is everybody all right? Any injuries?"
Yes!
I draw my
we're
sword as I
very injured.
continue to walk towards them.
Oh no, please don't hurt us. I'm sorry. We didn't know what we were doing.
What do you mean you didn't know what you were doing?
He
He.
controls us.
I plunge my sword into this first guy that's unconscious.
Oh.
Be more specific than he.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you just. Oh, okay.
Think doing a murder is illegal?
That was definitely not something he anticipated.
Roll intimidation.
Merrick, it's Merrick. Merrick is the one who's controlling
Merrick.
us. Merrick.
And what is Merrick?
You recall Merrick is the
Oh, okay.
name of the guy who's basically Tristan. Like, he's been trying to ruin Tristan's life. He's like a gang lord.
Oh,
He's been trying
gotcha.
to completely ruin Tristan.
Does he? What, does he have blackmail on you? Does he mentally control you, kind of like that brain thing does? Does he just tell you what to do and pay you?
He reaches into my mind. He uses the voices, and I hate the voices. They hurt.
Pathetic. It would have been better if you were at least getting paid for it.
I mean, we
And
occasionally
I'm not sure
get
if they're a
paid, but-
threat without Merrick to provide the voices. Now, he teleported away from here. Where did he go?
Well, he could have gone back to his castle that he has. It's not very
And
far away. There's also
know where
a
that
system of
is?
caves that we were in. Well,
Oh.
yeah. He's not always there, but he probably went back there, retreated back there at some point.
I nod. I pull out my water. I put away my sword, pull out my water flask, and hand it to him.
Oh,
Good. Clean
thank
your
you.
wounds. And then I'm gonna walk back over and flip back on the lights.
Thank you for not
Whoa.
murdering us, but you did murder our friend.
There-
here.
yeah, I turn on the lights, and right as he says that, there's just piles of dead bodies everywhere. Some are burned from explosions. Some are stabbed. Some have arrows sticking out of them like a porcupine.
There's one that's like the guy next to him has just got. There's a puddle of blood and it's getting on. him.
Yeah,
It's just
he thought
oh
that
my
he
goodness.
spilled a little bit of the water flask, but when the lights come on, it's just a pile of blood next, a
Ugh.
puddle of blood next to him.
What have y'all done? Oh no. Poor Jerry. He didn't deserve this.
Mm.
So, they are gonna sit there.
I
yeah.
also eventually. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and start calling up the stairs. Jeff, are you all right?
Yeah, doing great. Just
Check on Tristan.
making
I'm
sure
gonna
everything's
start
okay
heading
up
that
here.
way. I'm gonna start heading towards Tristan, noticing that Perrin has Sam safe. Zerazar, do you want to come check on Tristan as well, or are you good down here?
Blink at you.
Yes, understood. And I keep walking.
All right.
I'm gonna move as quickly as I can. I'm just gonna run up the stairs to meet up with Jeff and
Tristan.
try and check on Tristan.
All right. Jeff, do you go into Tristan's room?
He's coming to meet me. I'm gonna wait for my friend. That way we can go together.
All right. You wait a few minutes and Dreali makes it up the stairs.
It's a slow walk.
He makes it up the stairs. You both do you both go in there? Does just Dreali go in there? Does Jeff stand at the door? How does this work?
I mean, I at first I motion for you, and then I'm like, wait, no, you don't like that. So then I just walk through the door myself.
All right.
This time my sword is out.
You
And I
walk-
say, I've got your back.
I believe
That's
you.
terrifying. As you walk through the door, you notice that the whole room's been ransacked. There's a dresser with the drawers pulled out. There's broken glass everywhere. There's broken pottery in places, china, things like that. There is lying on the bed a very maimed Tristan.
Maimed.
He seems to have like stab wounds, and he's got stab wounds in multiple places. He's been bleeding on his bed apparently for at least a few minutes, and he is not conscious.
Okay. I pick up a like flower, some kind of floral arrangement that fell onto the floor when a vase broke, and run over to the bed, casting good berry as I do it. And 8 berries pop onto the stem of the of the
Flower,
like
yeah.
rose that I'm holding, and I immediately start feeding him one and check for a pulse.
Okay, you drop one into his mouth, and as you check for a pulse, you notice that in fact he does have a pulse, and you hear his eyes open up. What happened?
Your friend Marin happened.
Eric?
Merrick happened. Yes.
I was hoping we would find him. But
Oh,
I
we
guess you
did.
noticed I had company.
We did. Unfortunately, I must say that I failed to finish the job. I thought that I had him killed on the ground, but apparently he was just unconscious for a few moments. He managed to escape. Some type of teleportation magic, I'm not sure.
He's pretty skilled with magic, unfortunately.
Uh,
And he has a
well,
lot
we
of
have
friends
two
around
of
here
his.
as well.
We have two of his friends conscious downstairs. One of them, I don't know if he's alive or dead. I didn't really care. We have two of them alive, ready for questioning.
Good. I'm afraid I'm going to need to rest before I can make it down the stairs.
Oh, yes, please.
And he grabs one of his wounds and he heals it himself. With magic radiant light. Says, I'll be down in just a minute.
Would you like company until then?
I mean,
Just in case somebody comes back.
sure. I wouldn't mind company at this point.
Alright. Then I'm gonna go keep watch at his window where I assume a window's broken or something, right?
That's the odd thing. No broken windows.
Jeff, did you see anybody come in this room when you were across the hall?
I didn't see anyone go into that room, did I? I saw him come out.
You did see, yeah, you saw Merrick come out. You didn't see anybody go in.
He must have teleported in. I think you need to invest in some arcane wards.
I actually think Merrick and Tristan might be the same person.
I blink. Tristan is right here.
They had the same eyes.
You, as you're thinking about it, Dreali, he's not wrong. They seem to definitely have a couple of noticeably similar features.
A little
Right,
bit
they
less
could've
cracked
been, like,
blood around these eyes, but I
definitely-
suppose you're not wrong.
Tristan's like a slender build, and he's like definitely cleaner cut, but they do have the same hair color, and their eye structure is roughly the same.
May I
could
ask
be
what
twin
your
brother.
relationship with this Merrick is?
He's constantly trying to end my life.
Have you ever met him? You ever been in the same room at the same time?
Quite frankly, no, I haven't. I couldn't
Actually,
really
that's a question.
tell you what he looks like.
Looking at his wounds, how similar are they to the wounds that we just dealt to, or specifically like the arrow wounds that he would have had from that Merrick would have had downstairs?
They are very similar. As a matter of fact, it's uncanny.
That's weird. What a coincidence.
I don't comment on this at the moment. I see.
I notice this and I go, sorry, weird theory, I'm tired.
No, that's
Probably coincidence
coincidence. What's the coincidence?
that you two have the similar eyes. The eye
Oh.
color thing.
Perhaps he could be a relative of mine distantly. This is a strange place.
Perhaps. In this land of science, they took your hair and cloned you into an evil version.
That's entirely possible. It's actually.
Oh, I said that as a joke. That's terrifying.
Oh no, this happens
Um,
quite often actually. There's
Okay.
actually a guy I
Does he
used to
look-
know. I actually had to kill him, because.
Does he look real bloodied?
Yeah.
Okay, I cast sleep so it only hits him 5d8.
Okay, he goes to.
Well, I don't. The fish does. Let me rephrase. The fish is concerned.
Actually,
he
Whoever
falls
is
back asleep.
Yeah, he just falls asleep. He's just talking in mid-sentence. He just falls asleep. And
Jeff
Dre-
looks at him. He must be tired.
Trehala, you look and you were just like, he was actually like kind of on the mend, and then he just knocked out.
Okay, so Jeff, You see it too, right?
Huh? Oh yeah, those are definitely
Yeah,
the
that's
same.
where I shot him with my arrow,
Yeah.
and that's where Perrin shot him with his arrow. Wow,
I
that's a
wonder if
much
Merrick
deeper
put him to
wound.
sleep though.
Why
That's
is he such a good shot? Um, I go outside and go to the balcony. Baron, Sam, Zerzer, would you mind joining us upstairs for a moment?
I
Sam.
hop up there.
And also, you people down there, I have used my dark magic to mark you. If you even so much as try to leave this building, I will hunt you down and I will cut off each of your toes and force feed them to you so that you suffocate on your own smelly toenails.
he did it to a child once. It was terrifying.
Roll
It was
deception.
fun.
Or intimidation. Roll intimidation. Or Dreali, roll intimidation, and Jeff, roll deception.
My intimidation roll is not very good. Yeah.
They
We're like winking and nudging each other up there.
We give a slight high five as we walk away from the balcony.
one of them is like, "Oh no, please don't," and the other one's like, "Dude, they're joking, but I'm still not leaving because that one is terrifying."
Points to the cat.
Yeah. All right.
Do y'all join us upstairs?
Sarah's. I'm fine on my book.
And Perrin, do you and Sam join us upstairs?
Yeah, we go up there.
Yep. Sam will go
Okay.
up there.
All right. I open the door back up. I assume he's still sleeping on the bed.
He is still sleeping on the bed. He has
Okay.
cleaned up his wounds with radiant light, so his wounds aren't quite as noticeable, but they're still there.
Okay. So, Perrin, I point to a spot in his left shoulder. Do you see that that hole, that gaping hole in his shoulder? He hasn't cleaned that one up quite yet. Does that look pretty similar to the arrow that you shot into this Merrick fellow?
I nod. Yup. That's
Do these eyes look pretty similar to that Merrick fellow?
Hmm.
I guess his eyes are closed, but the hair does. Anyways,
I
he says
open the
he's-
eyelids.
The eyes are a different color.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, he says he's never seen this fellow. There's no broken windows, and right before we came up here, I watched Merrick vanish, and now this man is here. So I ask you, do you think that it is possible that they are the same person? This is a theory that Jeff has arrived at and convinced me of.
Yeah, we're not unsure they're the same.
I don't recall reading any stories of this in any library, so I don't know. I don't really trust that theory, but
All of your arrow marks
Evidence.
are the same spots.
I know the evidence surely makes this a cool story in the making.
Well, would you be confident enough in this theory that you and I drive swords straight through his heart, or we all drive weapons straight through his heart to kill him right now?
I mean, he has told us a lot about this place, so maybe there's still information to be gained.
My
Or
hand
do
is
you think
twitching
that-
on my sword right now?
Or do you think that his
I'm sorry.
living existence is a danger to our own?
I mean, he did just try to kill us.
Suppose.
I understand your reluctance to just cold blood murder an individual. So it's if you have not done it before, it could be quite jarring. Jeff?
Perrin doesn't say anything.
This guy's the only guy who's known anything about going between planes and stuff. I kind of want to keep him alive so he can tell us how to go home.
Well, that sounds like a majority then. I take my hand off my sword. Should we inform him of our of the reasoning behind our theory
Oh, sorry.
when he awakens?
I was told to go
I don't
do
know if
the
he's
thing.
doing it on purpose or not. I can't tell.
It
What's going on?
Can I make an insight roll to see how like forthcoming he seemed to be about this guy, like thinking back onto it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
do
can-
the same thing.
You can.
27.
With the
19.
27, you are quite certain he has not lied to you about any of this.
Yeah,
He's
I
been
shake
as
my head.
forthcoming as humanly possible.
I shake my head. He believes everything he says. There's no lie coming from his mouth. I suspect that whatever afflicts him, it is not of his own knowledge. I'm gonna start walking back downstairs and come up to these guys. I don't know what y'all do in the meantime.
Moral dilemma.
Oh no, Dre Ollie doesn't have a moral dilemma. He just got voted down.
Mm-hmm.
Dre Ollie was just gonna drive a sword straight through his heart.
Not necessarily
Oh
for
my
you.
I don't have a moral dilemma either. I just think he might be able to give me
There's a
hope.
dilemma. I have no morals.
The moral dilemma is I have none.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
As I come back downstairs, I come over to this body. I gently lower down, put a hand onto it, and like close its eyes so that it can rest in peace. And I look up at these two guys that are still alive, kind of cowering. And as I start asking them questions, a spider crawls down my arm and begins munching on the neck of the dead fellow in front of me. And I don't seem bothered by this.
Your eyes
So
get really
when
big.
when Merrick-
Spider.
yes, this is Dara.
That's a spider.
Anyways, yes, Dara is the spider. Now,
the spider is
when-
eating the person.
yes.
That's
Now.
Is it gonna
But-
eat me?
If you keep asking me useless questions, then she might. Now, listen. When Merrick contacts you,
Yes.
how does he do it?
In my brain.
Is it at night in your sleep? Is it
Just
anytime? How does this work?
I've been living in that castle for a very long time. And he's been using his abilities to just convince me what to do. And quite frankly, it was pretty easy living in the castle. I never really had to do a whole lot. All my meals were provided. I had everything I could possibly want, materially speaking. So even when the mind control wasn't working, he was still a pretty good boss. But as far as when I was originally called, I was very drunk. And I was not in a good place in my life. And I heard a voice that just spoke to me. This inner sense of purpose that I'd never felt before. Everything I'd been searching for just came calling to me. And that's when I found Merrick.
I see. One other question I just thought about. So I had Hunter's Mark on him when he teleported. I assume that I felt the spell break at that moment. Okay, just making sure. Was it the same for you? I gestured to the other one.
He says, well, I wasn't drunk.
I don't need the specifics, just a general understanding.
Yes, it was roughly the same.
Okay. Well, I pick Dara back up after she's made a nice hole in this man's neck and his jugular
They're
is
like,
finished bleeding out. She crawls back into my hair in the hood. When can you take us to this castle?
What? You want us to go there with you?
Yes, through the tunnels, preferably.
Can we wait till it's not freezing cold outside?
Like I said, when can you take us? Not right now.
We can take you in the morning?
I think their schedule's pretty clear.
Yeah, my schedule just cleared up, actually.
Good. Now, should you serve us well, we will do everything in our power to prevent this man from haunting your nightmares anymore. And who knows, we may leave behind an empty castle that somebody will need to occupy.
I guess that's a fair point. Yeah, I could use a castle. Castle would be cool. But the health insurance that he's provided is actually pretty. Stop! You know this is not a good idea. Like, he's not a good person. No, he's not a good person. But he.
Are we talking about me or Merrick? I feel like both are valid options here.
Drop it, Merrick.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So
All right. They've
think that's our
decided that
plan.
they're not going to do anything until the morning. Anybody else in here have anything else they want to do before morning?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it's getting close to morning probably at this point, so I'll go ahead and
It's only like
light a
3:15.
fire. Oh, okay. I say we wait for a while, let everybody rest up. I'll go ahead and start making a meal. And I walk off to to find a kitchen and start cooking.
You're gonna cook at 3 in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, who doesn't want a Krabby Patty at 3 a.m.?
Anybody else do anything?
I
Creeping
try to
downstairs.
fix my tent.
Okay, your tent has a hole. Actually, no, your tent is just cinders.
Incinerated.
It's cinders at this point.
Well, I'll let you determine what trying to fix my tent means. Karen is sad. Karen is sad.
Sorry, I said Saren. I'm just like I'm having like vicarious moments here. You see like bits and pieces on the ground that are very singed. You decide that you might be able to use bits and pieces of this to patch together another tarp that you might find somewhere else. Matter of fact, you're pretty sure that in passing through some of the rooms earlier, you saw a large tarp on top of a piece of furniture that would work really well as a tent.
Oh, perfect.
So I'll let you go get that and use the patches from yours to just kind of like keep it all together.
All right.
This gets back to the boat question. Like, at what point in repairing do I have a new tent versus, you know?
Are you familiar with the ship of Theseus? We just watched that yesterday, so it's fresh on my mind.
That's funny.
Yeah. At some point, it's a new tent.
Descended pair.
Both are the original. Neither is the original. So you start working on your tent. Dreali starts working on a meal. Jeff, what about you?
It's still 3 a.m. I think I might want to go to sleep.
Jeff goes to sleep.
Yeah, I am gonna trance later, but I just wanted to go ahead and have something ready for people that probably wanted a meal.
Sounds good. Sarah, is there anything you do, or do you just go back to sleep?
Take a nap. Curl up on the book.
All right. With all that said, well, that's where we're going to end it tonight, and we'll pick up in probably 2 weeks right back here.
Nice.
Woohoo!
All right, well,
Well done.
see you
I
guys.
assume we don't level up.
Not yet. I'll see you guys in the next session.
Sound